Yo, what is up guys? Daleboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button, and also if you guys could smash the like. Something a little bit different, just a really short video. Basically, I'll be going through some of my favourite boxing nicknames of all time, as well as naming a couple of the worst that I've heard as well. But anyway, on to my favourite boxing nicknames of all time, and I'm sure I'll miss a few from this video. They'll probably come to me at a later date. But anyway, the first boxing nickname that really comes to my mind is that of a former 2-weight world champion, Michael second to none. Michael Nunn was a middleweight and a super middleweight world champion, and his nickname is great wordplay, very simple, to the point, but very clever, and I think it's a great play on words. Michael second to none, great boxing nickname, and also a very good fighter in his own right. One of the more underrated fighters, I would say, in the past 30 years or so. So my first nomination is Michael second to none. Now the second nickname is quite frankly outstanding. It is from a former super lightweight contender. He was never a champion, but the fighter we are talking about is Juan Lascano, aka the Hispanic Causing Panic. That's a great nickname. The Hispanic Causing Panic. Just a great nickname, super memorable, super creative, and yeah, that nickname has been ingrained in my mind since way back when, basically when Juan Lascano fought Ricky Hatton, well over 10 years ago at this point. So that's a great nickname, the Hispanic Causing Panic, outstanding. Now the third nomination is absolutely fitting for this fighter, his nickname is fitting, and that fighter is Merciless Ray Mercer. Ray Mercer, of course, a former WBO heavyweight champion. I believe he won that belt from Francisco Diamani. And Ray Mercer was a good contender, a good fighter in the heavyweight division in the 90s. He knocked out Tommy Morrison. He had a very close fight with Lennox Lewis in a fight in which some people felt Ray Mercer won. Ray Mercer was a very aggressive fighter, extremely hard jab, big puncher, and he was very aggressive. Merciless was a fitting nickname for Ray Mercer. So my third nomination is Merciless Ray Mercer. The fourth nomination may not be the best nickname on this list, but it belongs to my favourite fighter of all time, James Lights Out Toney. It's got a ring to it, it rolls off the tongue, and again, it really is fitting to the character that is James Toney. It just suits him down to a T, and I think it's a great nickname. James Lights Out Toney is my fourth nomination. The fifth nomination, a fighter out of left field. This guy was a heavyweight journeyman a few years ago. He wasn't a good fighter, but his nickname was something else. Evgeny, the Molecule from Hell, Orlov. Now, like I say, Evgeny Orlov was basically a journeyman. He wasn't a great fighter. He pretty much had a 50-50 record. You know, basically as many wins as losses. But, you know, if there was a heavyweight championship of the world for great nicknames, Evgeny the Molecule from Hell Orlov would certainly be in there with a shout. The sixth nickname that has come into my head just now is from a former 2-weight world champion, a former light heavyweight and a cruiserweight champion, and that belongs to Dwight Mohamed Cowie, aka the Camden Buzzsaw. And again, this is one of those nicknames that just suits the fighter down to a T. Dwight Mohamed Cowie was a very short light heavyweight and cruiserweight, and basically he liked to get up close and basically work you hard. He'd work the body, he'd work on the inside, and he was basically a buzzsaw. Very aggressive, you know, very, very tough, very durable. The Camden Buzzsaw was a fitting nickname for Dwight Mohamed Cowie. The dude was just a hard man. He was a very good fighter, and on top of that, he had a great fucking nickname. Dwight Mohamed Cowie, aka the Camden Buzzsaw. And the last nomination for great nicknames is a former WBA heavyweight champion, and that is James Bone Crusher Smith. Bone Crusher Smith in his day, solid fighter. He actually lost that WBA title to Mike Tyson in the HBO heavyweight tournament, but he was a solid fighter, not the greatest heavyweight champion in the world, but nevertheless, the guy had a cool ass nickname. So the last nomination for great nicknames is James Bone Crusher Smith. We will also throw in a couple of bad nicknames. The first fact comes to my mind is Tony Thornton. Tony Thornton was a former middleweight and super middleweight contender. He lost his major fights. He lost to James Toney, Roy Jones, and I believe Chris Eubank, He lost his major fights. He was a tough, durable guy, but really nothing more, and his nickname was the punching postman, Tony Thornton. To me it sounds super dated, even for the 1990s. And listen, if you beat a guy called Tony Thornton, aka the punching postman, you're not going to get any credit from fans. They're going to say, well, you just beat a postman, not a real boxer. It's like them saying you beat a taxi driver. Do you know what I mean? So, Tony Thornton, tough dude, but a pretty poor nickname as far as I'm concerned. And without doubt, now this name sticks in my mind, it sticks in my brain, it's ingrained, it's etched in my memory for eternity, and that is Anthony Sugar Ray Clay Jones Jr. Small. Jesus Christ. What can we say about this one? An absolute abortion of a nickname. Terrible. Anthony Small was a domestic level fighter in the UK. His best career achievements were becoming the Commonwealth and British super welterweight champion, so he was a good domestic fighter with an absolutely terrible nickname. Anthony Sugar Ray Clay Jones Jr. Small. The worst boxing nickname of all time, without a shadow of a doubt. Anyway, share your favourite boxing nicknames below, and also some of the worst ones you've heard. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, something a little bit different. Peace.